So we're now approaching something rather Rabanal, which may be my stop for today, although it's pretty dang early. And I wanted to see this church that others stopped to look at. So we'll see if we can. And the answer was no. This is a pretty either brand new church or brand new restored. This is the small church that we saw in the distance, the older one. But compared, for example, to the cathedral in Astorga, this is a church that obviously is used. It has the feel to it. This is the older church that I think I saw in the distance. Notice the affectation of a clock, 5 minutes to 11. So I'm going to go on to the next little town about 6 kilometers beyond here. And onward we go. An old wagon perched up here on display. Sorte Peregrino. Looking back in the direction I came, somewhere over there probably, I'm up on top of this fairly good sized ridge and just about ready to enter the little town of Foncebadon, where I hope to spend the night, since it should be around 12. This is my albergue, Monte Irago. This is a little town up on top of this hill. This is a remote place and there's not much going on here. But I'm going to walk further up into town and see what there is up here further. Well, here's a newer building. Found a little shop that has my agua con gas, which simply means soda water. Well, it took me all of 10 minutes to walk to this end of the town. This is where I will go tomorrow. You can see some yellow arrows there, and you can see how the road goes up along the side. It crossed right there about in the middle. It'll be pitch dark when I come this way again. And I'm going to stop in to what I think is a church right there, where you see the bell tower, such as it is, in rather simple form. Not much going on up here. There are probably not very many families, 4 or 5, that live up here. Imagine when that balcony was new. The different people who would stand on it to watch the pilgrims go by, or anybody else or any other thing go by. And notice the detail that was once carved into it. These are the places that are fascinating. If only the stones could talk. And right across from this more than adequate store, since it has what I want in it, is this old building again. Imagine its history. Down below the cattle, other kinds of things, and upstairs people lived, perhaps. There's a view looking to pretty much the south. Look at that little camper there that somebody lives in. I wonder if they live in that in the wintertime. Yeah. And this one here, looks like a van that's had a Volkswagen or something put up on top of it. And something in the back. Here, just from the balcony of my albergue room, I pan through the village and up to the north, where it's possible the clouds are building. The man at the store said 4 or 5 families live here, but I think it's a little bit more than that. Just about ready to cross over this ridge behind me that I've been on for the last yesterday afternoon and today. so far. The sun's coming up. You can see the east back over there. I'll pan for whatever you can see. It's a rugged country up here, but not as rugged as Japan's mountains. These are manageable. Those red lights you see and the blinking strobes are for the warning lights for the windmills that dot this whole ridge line from north to south. And probably some kind of a communication tower there. So I'm going off in that direction. Looking back from where I came, there's somebody about 15 minutes to a half an hour behind me, as evidenced by the barking of the pile of dogs that I passed earlier. This is the first car that has been on this road near me for the hour and a half or whatever it's been that I've been hiking this trail. And now I think we may be almost at the top of this ridge and ready to drop down onto the west side of it. Again, looking back east where the sun has come up for the lower elevations, but not here yet. It's a pretty country. Still haven't got over the top yet. Okay, panning from the south, east is behind me. The sun, I'm over the top now. The sun's starting to peek up. There's another one of the innumerable crosses that are put up along this trail. And here's a view of where we'll be going. Almost due west, which I think is about right there. Somewhere up in those mountains, I believe, is where we'll be going, and that's the highest point on this trail. Most of the flowers I've seen on the trail are pretty common on the trail. This is unique. But fortunately it's not alone, because there, hidden in the grass, is still another. Here's our first big, broad, sweeping view of the area on the west side of that big range I'm on. I'm looking back towards the east. To the right is the pure east where the sun came up, at least. There's some of those windmills over there, but they're everywhere. Here it looks like a reservoir and maybe a power plant. Since the trail goes from the east to the west, this is often part of my view in the morning as the sun comes up, my shadow. Looks like some kind of mining operation over there. There's a power plant on the right, but I think the city down there is Marin or something like that's where I'm going, and may not go any farther. It's probably a lot longer walk than it looks like from up here.